Every 4 or 5 shows, I will be doing just a solo, no guests, just me. If you're interested in learning about the 360 photo booth business, this is a great podcast to listen to. Another good thing about the photo booth business is, guys, there is enough parties, weddings, corporate, birthdays, reunions, almost every day. 5 things you need to start a photo booth business. And here they are. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in once again to the Connect podcast. Every 4 or 5 shows, I will be doing just a solo, no guests, just me doing the podcast, different topics. Most of it is business, entrepreneurship. So if I make a mistake, I'm just gonna make a mistake. I'm not gonna cut. I just want to be straightforward with you guys and be myself, and just hopefully I can reach. This is probably one of the most important podcasts that I'm going to do. It's my first one solo, but I feel like it's going to tell you a lot about me and myself and what I'm doing, and also hopefully shed some light on things that I know that you can benefit from just by watching a podcast like this. Now, as you know, if you don't know, I own several businesses. I own a production company, I own a streaming network. I have a nonprofit that I'm launching right now. I have a photo booth company, and I do photography and things like that. So I do these things just for second income. Living in California, for one, it's expensive. We all know this. It's very expensive. It's just a lot, and there's a lot of things I want to. There's a lifestyle that I want to keep up with that I would like to have for myself, which is why I became an entrepreneur. So in this episode, we're going to just break down one of my business that I have, and that's going to be the photo booth today. And it's tax time. I remember 2 years ago when I first started my photo booth business, I used some of my tax money to get it going, and it's a success. Now I've put it on pause because I wanted to get this part of my business going, which is the streaming network, which is the podcast. So I haven't put it out there. I haven't been doing business, and I do have people working for me. They're working, but me actually working in the field out there doing the photo booth, I haven't been doing it. And it's things that you do in your business. When you have another business, you're gonna take time to stop one and go into the other to make sure that it gets off properly and get going. You got to get the business. I'm a stickler of believing, like, in order to know the business that you're going to be in, and if you plan on just hiring people eventually, you have to get your feet wet a little bit. You want to get in there and see how the business flow, how the customers react, how to make better decisions for your business. In order to do that, you got to get the experience. So the photo booth business is it's not for everyone. You know, there's so many different photo booths for one, and I've got lucky. I fell into the 360 photo booth. I do have another photo booth now that I particularly rent out as well, but I came right in doing the 360 photo booth, and I love it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty simple. So today, guys, we're gonna break down. If you're interested in learning about the 360 photo booth business or the photo booth business, I gotta stop saying 360 because I do own more than one photo booth. I actually have two 360 photo booths, and I have a digital station, and we can get into that later. But just start off, like I said, if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is a good podcast to watch. In particular, if you want to start your own photo booth business, which is it's a lucrative business, guys. This is a great podcast to listen to. Okay? So let's jump right into it. I do have it 360. I do have a photo booth business, and it's called Photo Booth Force. You can go check my website out at photoboothforce.com. Now, I've listened to several videos on YouTube, even before I've started this business, and I can tell you, don't listen to everyone on there. There are some good people. There are some good entrepreneurs or photo booth owners, but I've listened to some, and I'm like, wow, no way, no way. I'm glad I didn't follow every step, and in some cases I did follow some steps, and yeah, it proven to be a bad move. So, and to each his own. Go to YouTube, listen to some people. YouTube University is not bad. Like I said, there are good entrepreneurs and photo booth businesses on there. So, just first in the photo booth business, I just want to go over what you're going to be dealing with. Okay, before you decide whether this is for you, I just want to tell you what you're going to be dealing with. You know, it is a hustle like every business. You're going to have to take some time out to streamline your business, whether it's 360, whether it's the iPad station, the regular traditional photo booth when you're printing out pictures. There's so many photo booths. Find out which one you would like to venture off to. I chose the 360 photo booth because it was new to me. It's not new to the world, but it was new. I loved when I got on it. I loved it, and it was like really cool. So I sort of got a passion for it, if that makes any sense. And I started to dig into the nuances about the 360 photo booth. And I love to see the crowd. I love to see how people got excited about the 360 photo booth. So I moved into that business, that part of the business first. But what you're going to be dealing with is what we're going to cover, and the hustle part. You're going to have to be able to get out and 210 it, 2 feet, 10 toes, get out and promote your 360 photo booth. Everything is not social media. There's companies, there's businesses all around you. So you're gonna have to be able to get out there and promote your business, and that's in almost anything you do. People, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of people in this business. You're gonna be dealing with a lot of different ethnic groups. I think I've worked with I can say almost half, at least half in the whole entire world of different ethnic groups, and it's a very good thing. You're going to have to be a people person to run a photo booth business. Now, running a 360 photo booth, it's a little bit different from running just the traditional photo booth, because I'm a little bit animated. On a 360 photo booth, I like to encourage people. I pull people to the side. I have a lot of energy. My attitude is so great. But it's different when I have the photo booth, in the digital photo booth. I'm just, hey, everyone knows what it is. You're going to stand in front of this station, press a button, and then you get to push what type of picture you have. Well, on 360 photo booth, it's a little different. They don't understand the philosophy of the camera moving around. They're getting excited. They want to hear what it's about, how long it's going to be, what does it do, when are you going to get video. And I don't know why they call it 360 photo booth. It is not a photo booth, by the way. I'm just going with we all go with. It's actually a video booth, if you really think about it. 360 video booth, and hopefully one day I can change that. But right now we're just going to call it a photo booth because that's what Google and everyone else see it as. It's a photo booth, for crying out loud. But yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. So if you're not a people person, if you're not ready to deal with a lot of folks and explaining, this may not be the business for you. Now, if you can get by just, kind of not promoting and not explaining, and hopefully you have a party where people know what it does and how it works, by all means, go for it. But if you want to bring people back, if you want repeat customers, if you want people to talk about your business, then I think you explaining the details about the 360 photo booth, you being a motivator to get on there is important. So make sure that you are ready to talk, explain, have good energy before you even start this photo booth business. Okay? All right. Your attitude is important. I cannot say it enough, guys. Your attitude is very, very important. So when you're doing this, people, when you first get there, no one knows you. It's according to how you have your website set up. No one knows you. But coming in, speaking to people, asking questions, where you're going to set up at. Sometimes I even go as far as when I get set up, I go help. Hey, you guys need help setting up something over here. I asked the event coordinator, hey, do you need help? I introduced myself to almost everyone because obviously you're there before the event gets started. It's according to what type of event it is. So, you want to have a great attitude going in. And like I say, it's strictly whatever kind of business you're doing, you want to have a great attitude before you go in. So that will carry your business much further. The next thing we're going to talk about is room. And I'm talking about these things before I get into the actual 360 or the digital photo booth, or whatever the photo booth that you decide to move into. And we want to talk about space. If you don't have the space according to what photo booth you choose, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a hard time trying to get it to A to Z, right? A to B, whatever you want to call it, because you need the space to put your equipment in. Now, some people do it in their car. I've done my 360 in a regular car. Do I have to lay everything out of my truck? Yes. You have to pack everything in the back seat? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. It's according to what size, and we can get into that a little bit later once we talk about the size. The bigger the equipment that you use, obviously, excuse me, the more space you're going to need. But make sure that you have transportation. You're going to have to get places. Reliable transportation. If you know your car is reliable and you have space, then the photo booth business can work for you. Now, if you have a two-door car, you're very limited with space, and your car is not reliable, this may not be the business for you. You know, so make sure that you have those two things right there. Good things about the photo booth business is, like I said before, you're gonna meet a lot of people. There's so many great opportunities in the photo booth business, and let me just break down the photo booth business a little bit for you. And I know some of you may know what it is already, but I'm still gonna break it down just a little bit. Photo booth business is you, as an entrepreneur, taking your equipment to an event, whether it's a wedding, quinceañera, birthday party, retirement, corporate parties are very big. This is what it's about. You're bringing an activity to these different events, and you liven up the party a little bit, the event. You liven it up, and that's what I do. People pay for the service. They pay you by the hour. Me, I charge a little bit different. I look at my competition, and I find out what they're charging, and I kind of we can get into this later, but I kind of go in what they have already, but I escalate my prices just a little bit, but I add more time, and we're going detail about that. Go in detail about that a little later. But those are the good things about it. You're gonna meet people. You're gonna travel. You're gonna make people smile. You're gonna make people happy. It's an amazing thing, guys. The reason why I chose the photo booth business because it's not too far from what I do in the first place. I run a photography business and a videography business, and I can upsell myself, which is a great thing to do, right? Any business you have, if you can upsell some people, do it. You know, if you are a DJ, and you know how to do graphic designs, and someone called for your DJ business, you can also offer them, hey, I can do design for your flyers. I have a monitor, a TV monitor, where I can add, your title of your event. Guys, I can go on and on about upselling, but yeah, make sure that if you have something going on, and you don't have to upsell. It's just something that I chose. Why I chose the photo booth business, because if I promote my photo booth business and you call me, hey, I need amount of hours. Okay. My next thing I will say is, hey, by the way, I do photography and videographer. And I add that service. And before you know it, that's another 1,000 or 1,500 bucks added onto the service that they already acquired about. So try your best to upsell if possible on your business. So those are good things about the photo booth business. Another good thing about the photo booth business is, guys, there is enough parties, weddings, corporate, birthdays, reunions, almost every day. Obviously there's a birthday every day. There's seasons to the photo booth business. You have your seasons where you have your corporate parties and your wedding seasons, but there's a birthday, there's a retirement party going on all the time, right? So it's very lucrative. I chose the photo booth business because I know it's somebody's partying, somebody's going to retire, somebody's birthday today, somebody's birthday. I get a call. And those are good things about the photo booth business that I love because it's some money coming in. Phone call. If I make a phone call, 10 people on my phone, hey, is your birthday coming up? You got to retire. What's going on with you? Hey man, I got a good service. Don't be afraid to reach out to your friends and your families first when you're doing this business. All right, and that is tailgating to my next part of this. When you first get your photo booth, obviously you're new. People don't know about you. Reach out to family and friends. Have them reach out to family and friends and so on. Like I said at the beginning of this, you're going to do a little bit of groundwork. And I live in Los Angeles, so I'm pretty lucky. There's tons of companies and business around me that I can walk to. They have events. Guys, I've done so many events. I've done block parties for businesses. I've done Christmas parties where they block off the street for companies. And I met so many people. There's business out there in this photo booth business. The good thing is you don't have to be a photographer. It does it itself. It's a business where you just sit back and you press a button. In some cases, I drop it off and I leave. I don't even press a button. So this photo booth business is great, guys. Trust me. It's great. So those are the good things about it. Now, there's so many more good things about it. I don't want to bore you guys about that too much. But let's move on to the equipment side. And I'm going to talk about two different types of equipment because I have them and I can explain to you details about them. I have two 360 photo booth. I have a 100 centimeter one and I have an 80 centimeter one. And then I have a digital iPad station, digital photo booth, more or less. When I first started the business, I purchased the 360 photo booth, the 100 centimeter photo booth. Why? I wanted the biggest one. I wanted to accommodate for 4 to 5 people. So I bought it because I knew I can beat out my competition. I've been to parties where these guys bring their photo booth and it fits 1 to 2, maybe 3 if you squeeze them on uncomfortably. But I chose to get the big one that fits 4 to 5 people. Sometimes I put 6 on there. But I chose to bring on that one first because I'm already knocking half of my competition out because I've been to several parties and it's a small photo booth. All right. Is it a little bit more expensive? Yes. Does it take up more space in your vehicle? Yes. Is it heavy? Yes. So that's another thing that I forgot to mention. What are you getting yourself into? 360 photo booth is heavy, but I've seen plenty of people get it out their trunk, get out the car by themselves, including myself, and get this thing going. I've seen plenty of women tackle this thing here, So just know that getting the bigger one, you're already eliminating some of your competition. Why? Because when you on your website, they're going to ask you, forget asking, you're going to tell them, hey, my 360 photo booth fits 4 to 5 people. And trust me, people shop. They want to know, how many fits on you because they went to someone else's website and it says 2 to 3 people, So don't be afraid to go out there and get that big one. Is it heavier? Yes, but you're going to beat out competition. Your percentage of getting business is going to go up automatically. Now, I do have the other one as well because now I consider the big one as an upsell. I do have a smaller one, which is a little cheaper. I charge a little bit more for the big one, and I charge a little bit less for the smaller one, right? Takes up less space. It's smaller. It's not as heavy. It's easy to travel with. But that's because I'm well seasoned in the game, And I do offer both of those. And another reason why I purchased my second 360 photo booth is because I got really busy. I had to hire people. I was getting double booked, and sometimes I get triple booked. That's when I needed to get the third one. I love it when I get bookings during the week, right? That's like, oh, that's easy money. I get booked during the week on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, Monday, I'm in there. Take 3 hours, 4 hours out the day, go get it done. A lot of nonprofits hire me through the week. This is a very lucrative business, guys. So those are some of the good things and about the photo booth business. I'm in the process of starting my new course about the photo booth business, which we'll get into a little bit later. I'll mention that later, but I can't go too much in details about everything on this podcast. Okay. So that's equipment. I do have the digital photo booth station, which I bought off Amazon. I'm not gonna lie. The 360 photo booth, I bought it online from a different company, and they're very trustworthy. I've seen some on sale. Some of the prices, I'm a go-getter, guys. You show me one thing, you show me a price, I'm going to try to match it. I'm trying to beat it. And I found a company who's very reliable. Equipment is pretty good. It wasn't Amazon. It wasn't Alibaba, because I purchased one from there, and it broke down on me. And that's not good. People paying you in advance, and you get there and your equipment doesn't work. It's not good. But I found a very reliable source, and that's part of my course. Like I said, I can't go over everything now. But my digital iPad station I did buy from Amazon because it's just a station. I have a iPad that I use, and that's, everybody know Apple's pretty reliable. They do have their, you know, equipment that sometimes fail you, but Apple is pretty reliable. I do pay for a service, and I use T-Mobile. I do use a software. In order to use a photo booth business, guys, you're going to have some type of software, a third-party software. And like I said, I get into that in my course. And that's vital. Don't use Snapchat or Instagram for your business. I've seen it looks tacky. It's tacky. Can you use it? Yes, but it's very tacky, guys. There's no overlay involved. And the overlay is what you see around the video. These softwares allow you to have overlay. And I use one software in particular, and they've been pretty accurate, been good to me. So yeah, that's where I get my equipment from, and that's how it works. How do I get my client is the next phase of this podcast. When I first started, I was excited. I bought my 360 photo booth. I got my equipment. I got all the props, and now I make my own props. And I was so happy, and I'm like, all right, who's going to call me? It was like, oh, I got to get clientele. I told a friend of mine, and the first thing he did was, oh, we got a party coming up. You willing to do it? I'm like, yeah, I told him, like, let's do it. I didn't charge him a lot because I wanted to get some pictures. I wanted to get some video coverage of the 360 photo booth. So I did it for a little bit, and I think it was $250. It was like 3 hours. And I did it. But I made sure that I got pictures, video. And then I decided to go ahead and put myself on Google. Was probably one of the best moves ever. I'm a Google fanatic. I have other businesses, so I know about Google. Don't just go put yourself on Google, though, guys. There's a certain way, a certain time, certain verbiage, certain text that needs to be on your Google ad. And we get into that, during my course. But it takes a certain technique to get on Google. When I did it, instantly I got busy. Next day, I was like, oh. And even I got double booked that day. My friend that I did it for really cheap, I got booked for that date. And before you know it, I was doing 2 on my first day. Did I make some mistakes? Yes. You're going to make mistakes. But learn from your mistakes. Yes, I did. Okay? So on average, the first year, this is my second year doing this business. On average, the first year, I was making maybe like an extra $3,700 a month my first 4 to 8 months doing the business. It was a help. It was helping me, because I'm a filmmaker. I was doing my own things. I was making my own films, and I needed something to supplement or substitute for the money that I was not working doing my production, film production. So I was making roughly $3,700 a month, which was cool. And then as the lateral part came, I figured it out more and more how to get on these other social media platforms. So I went from making 38 to making $6,000 per month, you know. And after you take out your travel, which I charge now for travel, you take out that. What else I was taking out for? Oh, you pay for your subscription to the software. You know, you break it down. That's 500. I'm 5,500 a month. So this is within my first year. My second year, I figured it out even more. You know, I'm a Sagittarius. If you know a Sagittarius, we don't mess around. We get when we get to it, we get to it, and that's what I did. I got to it, and I went from 6 to 8 to 10 per month, sometimes even more, because I figured out the seasons. I started learning how to be more of a people person when it comes to the photo booth business. I added more props. I started reaching out different avenues. I became friends with event planners. And most important, guys, if you want to run a photo booth business, listen to me. This is one of the most important things that I retained. Repeat customers. Why is it important to get a repeat customer? Because you don't have to advertise as much. Dollars got to go back into advertisement. So in any business that you run, repeat customers. The attitude that I talked about, coming on time, reliable vehicle that I talked about, having that good energy that I talked about, pays off your second year. Now you're getting income that you didn't spend on social media. Do I still advertise? Yes, but as much? No. There's a certain amount I spend now before I cut off. I'll pause my ads. You know, sometimes I don't even advertise on social media anymore. And I get double booked, triple booked. So that's how I get my clients. That's how I stay in business. Right now, I'm paused right now, but I'm going to open back up because this is taking off now. The podcast business, my T2K Pronto is taking off pretty well, and thank you everyone for your support. So yeah, last part of this is focus. Focus on your business. And this is not going to be the only podcast that I'm going to do about business, but I'm just picking a particular avenue, a particular business, and that's the photo booth business. Your attitude, your focus. Focus in on it. I promise you, you will make it in the photo booth business. Guys, there are enough people every day doing something who needs this. Whether it's the iPad station, which is much cheaper, or the 360 photo booth, which is a little bit more expensive. But guess what? Once you purchase your 360, you got it. There's no putting money back into the business and as far as equipment. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you focus in on your business. And guys, this is it. If you're looking for a second income, you have a vehicle, you have a car that's reliable, you're a people person. Guys, look into this. If you have this is tax time, guys. I'm in March right now. Save your money. I do I do consultations. If you want to get on the line with me, it's a small fee, but I do consultations. If you want to talk, you want some of these resources that I've reached out to and how I got places, guys, reach out to me, okay? You can email me at photoboothforce@gmail.com. We can schedule some time, about an hour, and we can get you going. I can help you get your business going. I can help you get your photo booth business going. I can show you where to get the equipment from and things of that nature. But trust me, this is one of the businesses that I slept on. I've watched a 360 photo booth happen years ago. And I sat there and I went to events, I went to parties, and I said to myself, yo, what is this thing? All right, it's cool. It looks cool. And then I finally got it. Where did I see it? And this is for the photographers and the videographers. Listen to me. I would go out to these events and do my thing. I would be a photographer or videographer. Wedding. Let's just take a wedding, for example. Birthday parties and such. And I kept seeing the 360 photo booth. Right? And I'm like, wow, that looks cool. And I get on it and experience it, and I had a little fun. But I realized something very, very key. I realized that the specialist, the operator of a 360 photo booth, was giving their clients their photos or their videos right there on the spot, and they were done. Now, what's the difference? The biggest difference is when I get done shooting photography or videography, I got to go home, put in hours and hours of editing. But this guy who did this 360 photo booth is done. It's over. You know, the only thing that's post is when you get done with your 360 or your digital station, you're going to have to email them their videos, which is a simple link. You know, that's it. You're done. All right. So coming to a conclusion here. Like I always do with my guests, I always tell them 5 things you need to start a photo booth business. And here they are. Number 1, you're going to need reliable transportation. Number 2, you're going to need great attitude. You're going to have to be a people person. You can't be afraid to talk. Number 3, you're going to have to get reliable equipment, photo booth, reliable photo booth equipment. Props. Going to need props. Number 4, you're going to have to be able to get out and get your business. You're going to have a motor. Okay? And number 5, focus. Focus on your photo booth business first. If you have other business, if you are a 9-to-5 person and you're free on the weekends, focus. Focus. Focus on your business. Let your 9-to-5 be your 9-to-5. Close it off. Get you some reliable help. If you have someone that can work with you, that's number 5, focus. If you have someone that can work with you and help you, clinch onto them. But if there are some people that's in your life that don't have that mindset of a hustler and don't want to see you succeed and they don't know how to focus, get away. Get away. Because you're going to have to close off some things, like I said. Everybody don't want to see you make it. Trust me. This is a hustle. I'm not afraid to tell people that I got multiple businesses. I'm not. But I'm setting myself up for a great future. As an entrepreneur, there's not a big retirement plan for me. I have some things going on, but I don't have a 401k. So I need these incomes coming in to save. And having this photo booth business is going to allow me to do that. Now, this is my first podcast doing this. And guys, I cannot tell you enough how important and how much I enjoyed doing this. But if you want to reach out to me, by all means, please do so. photoboothforce@gmail.com. About this business, about the photo booth business, I can help break it down to you. I do websites, I do cards, I've done it all. Listen, guys, I'm one of the right guys to go to. So that is it. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, please, guys. There's more to come. I'm going to bring in more guests to talk about their business. I'm going to bring in more guests. This is for you. If you're an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. If you want to learn, and guys, times are changing. AI is here. It's taking over businesses. Even McDonald's. Listen, right now, McDonald's workers get paid $21. But you don't think McDonald's corporation is saying to themselves, listen, if you go to McDonald's right now, they got these machines you can press without talking to anyone. You can order your food on these little kiosks. You don't think they're doing that for a reason? Yeah, they still got workers in the back. You see those counters? They're getting one or two counters because they're setting up to get out of paying people. They are. These counters are there for just to test it out. Pretty soon it's going to be robots in the back flipping your burgers. Pretty soon that drive-through is going to have your meal ready. As soon as you push it in, when you drive through, you're going to push it in yourself. They're getting rid of people, guys. So entrepreneurship may be the way to go. Not shooting down college and all these careers. But it's coming. And McDonald's is doing it. You better believe that all these other corporations are sitting back talking to these inventors of these AI and these robots. And we're gonna get into that on another podcast. But guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. T2K Pronto. You can catch this podcast on YouTube. You can also catch it on T2KPronto.com. Download the app, subscribe, support me, and I will support you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in.